Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today is the first day of banned cards in Standard. If you missed the announcement, all wrenn's Epiphany, the very annoying turns card, is now banned, along with Divide by Zero. We can actually cast spells and not have them bounce to our hands, as well as Faceless Haven have all been banned in Standard. One of the decks and kind of archetypes that was really suppressed by all wrenn's Epiphany was a lot of the kind of green-based mid-range decks, the Wrenn and 7 decks, as well as the Storm the Festival decks. And today that's one of the decks we're going to try. I'm going to try out a couple different builds with Storm, and then kind of see if these shells can still keep up in best of one. I do anticipate we'll still see mono white, we'll still see mono green and various kind of aggro shells, but I'm interested to see how these ramp decks kind of match up against that. So what we're playing is Storm the Festival. Basically, it's a big Coco 6 mana with flashback for 10. You can look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 permanents, 5 CMC or less onto the battlefield. So we have hits like Wrenn and 7, we have Lulth. So this version is more of a tokens sub-theme to it. If you've watched my channel, the thing I like doing most is making a big board state of tokens and then Meathook Massacring to kind of combo kill your opponent. We have a lot of accelerants on 2 mana. We have Prosperous Innkeeper and Tangleflora Hedron to get ahead on mana. Then we have Wedding Announcements for tokens and buff. We have Felidar Retreat to make tokens, esika's Chariot, non-buffed because it's standard, or non-nerfed, to make tokens, Edgar as another way to kind of play around that, and then we have some copies of Lulth. So as we're playing this, what we want to do is compare this to something like the Blood on the Snow deck, see how they play out in terms of differences. In this particular version, we don't have any sort of learn package. Instead, we are using our 2 mana accelerants to get ahead instead of using that. So we're just going to play through, see how this plays out against something like that. I think if you're in black-white, you should be playing 4 copies of Vanishing Verse against all the aggressive decks. Mana base is really good in these decks. We're opting for 2-2 split of Lair of the Hydras and Hive of the Eye Tyrants. Just want to check if my basic makes sense. It does as a forest. So let's jump into some games, see how this plays out. Don't know what the meta is like. This will be my first game post-ban Standard, so we'll see. I'll try to get out an earlier weekend meta on Standard if Untapped has enough games logged in the next like 2 days. So you can tune into that where we do the meta breakdown. But let's play some ranked, see how it goes. Also have a Simic version of the deck that's looking to play into the big green werewolves, the Hexproof one and the Huntmaster. So we'll give that one a shot as well. In Simic you get another 2 mana accelerant, which plays pretty nicely, as well as the 4 mana Search a Land guy. Mana base is a little awkward, but if we get an untapped land, it's pretty good. I think we keep. Worst case, we just play a turn late Innkeeper. Untapped land to be really good here. Get life gain. Perfect. So the white's really a splash in this deck, so we can forgo that. I can either go Edgar next turn or start getting Wedding Announcement going. So I think we can go Edgar, but I kind of want to just ramp up into Storm as early as possible. Because that lets me do tokens. Let's go this. This is more aggressive, and then next turn it lets me play a tap land as well as Wedding Announcement. This also lets me get a little bit aggressive. If need be, next turn I have this Vanishing Verse also as an option if they go something like Righteous. Could hold that up against the Voice. Think we play this out this turn. We can still block it this turn. I want to get this going sooner than later. This we can just trade if needed. So we can actually surprise block them potentially next turn with this. And then that's actually great because it lets me get out Storm the Festival next turn, so depending what they do, I can try to catch them. This engine is really nice. This game we're just gaining a lot of life. So the only downside is they play a second creature here. They're going to get quite a few triggers on this voice. So this is nice because Edgar dies, but then I could still get the tokens. While they can reanimate this later, we have the option of Storm next turn. And they're still a ways away in terms of mana. It's at least 2 turns of them committing to this, just to get it back. We got Edgar going. This is going to flip next turn as well, which is nice. So we're definitely storming the festival this turn. So only downside, this trigger on the stack, if they have Vanishing Verse, they can hit my Lolth. So a little unfortunate there, but I think it's fine. We'll take the extra token here. We're outpacing the life gain deck. We have Chariot that can start pumping through next turn. Wow. Did not expect by invitation only. So here, I think what we do, oh, too many. I forgot we didn't need to do that. We could have held up first too. I forgot the Anthem effect. So, technically left the mana up on the board, but I think we're okay still. Wrenn's another nice one. Let's just push some damage through. They're top decking. Alright, that felt pretty sweet. So one thing, just as an observation standpoint, we might want... Well, I guess our card advantage is Storm the Festival. We might want some ways to draw cards though. Something like Deadly Dispute might be something of interest. So something to keep in mind as we play a couple more games, if we could squeeze that in. Accelerant on 2, turn 3 Edgar sounds good. Looks like a control player. See if this is it? I mean, if they want it, so they have Vanishing Verse up. Seems pretty obvious there. I mean, we're playing into Jawari here. We also don't have a white mana after, but I think we do it. Yeah. We gotta get it out. And the thing is, the Fading Hope, getting it out now makes this wrenn better later. Okay, so we got Tangle Boy. I guess we could have played that tapped to just guarantee the land drop for next turn, because we're kind of screwed if we don't. If like they Doomscar us here, we're in a really bad spot. But they might want to wait. Like our board state's not one of great pressure right now. I think we lead off with this.
Come, Seven. That the will of the woods is made manifest.
We need to try to get this Teferi off.
Doesn't mean I'm frail.
This is just going to get him a lot of like incidental mana. So thing to keep in mind, they could fire this up and attack into my wrenn. They might opt to do that. If they're scared of that, this will start getting us some cards. They might not be playing Devastating Mastery if they're on Celestis and Teferi. Okay, that's a good sign. Main phase Deluge, also a good sign. You could usually tell, like if they're playing Devastating Mastery, they're not going to be playing Teferis usually, or kind of permanent based, just since it sets them back. Okay, so it's likely a Doomscar.
We will help you find
Okay, it's actually pretty solid because
rose with tender care.
guarantees us for next turn. We could potentially, if they don't sweep, play that out. I'm gonna play Edgar out just because they're basically priced into sweeping now, and then this gives me something to make tokens afterwards. Next turn I have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not quite Storm yet, but I can also activate the Hive. We get all these drains. It's fine. I got another one.
Not escape.
I'll do it again, opponent.
Calm the tree from root to canopy. The trees are
I think at this point we're just playing into the Storm the Festival. We're big enough now that we can block a hall. Also just have like these 1-drops. Yeah, so they're definitely not on Mastery if they're on Borrowed Time. So it's a bit annoying, but it also insulates us against a board wipe. Yeah, that's a fairy needs to go.
I could explain what I'm about to do, but I'd rather show than...
Digging again. So the verse is nice.
every seed contains great.
So This is technically a free attack. The reason being, if they block here, they die to the thing. And then I get the blocker back anyways. So yeah, we're probably doing that. Let's get rid of Deluge. So the downside this way is we don't get the
Really should have seen that coming.
board wipe insurance. But what I can do is, depending how they play this out, I can get back another wrenn. I still have this as an attacker. I can create a tree folk, get rid of that, create another tree folk. So we have some options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're one off from the Storm the Festival. They're also taking 3 damage if they sweep here. They might try to go defense oriented with the Hall, but if they activate, I have Vanishing Verse. Okay, good sign, good sign, good sign. Every time a control player main phases Deluge, you know they're franticing. They're scared. Bye, friend. Alright, 2-0. 2 quick ones. Taking down control, which actually is probably, like, since they're not on heavy counter spells, it's probably not too bad. They don't seem too permission based, they seem more answer based. Or responses. But grinding there. The meat hook low-key just dealing damage in a matchup where it normally wouldn't. So opponent goes first here. We have no accelerants. We have double meat hook. But I don't think this hand's good enough. I think we mulligan. Okay, this hand's much better. In the dark, I think we put back a verse. Gonna lead with so if they're on that, they're gonna be a slower hand, so we'll just play this out. Got some Is It gamers. Okay, so it's likely dragons. So this turn I think we can go shields down. Next turn's an interesting one because do we potentially risk them going golds? Oh, they're on something completely different than what I thought. They're on giants! You're a giant! So we do need to go double green here. Notably this being off-colored is a little annoying. I think we just take the damage here. Okay, Wrenn's actually really good. And we need triple green, so play this out. We have a 5-5 here. 6-6 with Wedding Announcement. Our tokens are buffed. They're swole. So, Fading Hope gamers. Still just a like 1 mana doing that to us hurts. Foretell. What could that be? Counterspell, maybe?
Power grows.
Green, green, green. Probably just block here. I think we double chariot, just get all the tokens. We'll lose one of these, but I think we just get aggressive here. Oh, I didn't even clue into that. So if it chumps blocks, you still draw a card. Yikes. So, tad punish there.
The heat has become unbearable.
How do we want to do this? Well, I could hit for 5 with chariot. It's the same amount of damage. I think we do that. I think we do this just as a way to insulate our kind of chip damage on their part. I'm really curious what those are. So here they're going to lose some life. Why did you tap me like that? So we gotta be aware of auto tapper. Take a card draw. So we're at 17. They bring out the Quakebringer. We have the verse for it. Okay, so Cinderclasm. Okay, so they're just foretelling Quakebringers. Looks like it. They're also a little hampered on red mana, so they can't cast 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we just hit him again. Sweet! 3-0 up to numbers. I think this deck actually put up quite a hell of a fight. Definitely something to kind of explore more. The Wrenn and Chariot still seem to be pretty big powerhouses in this format. Now that we even battled through a lot of the Fading Hopes, stuff like that. I think these Felidar retreats, we never saw them in any game, but I think we might just want like Deadly Disputes. Maybe just something to draw some cards. Maybe something else to just ramp even with getting into Storm the Festival, but overall, like even Huntmaster could be better than some of these Felidars, but deck felt pretty sweet overall. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know what you're playing in New Standard, what's been working out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a great one, and stay safe out there.